broad shoulders. A lot of us have them. I have them. For some reason, a lot of us don't love them as much as we should. I was one of those people until I learned how to dress my shoulders. And there are certain days where I want to accentuate them, and there are certain days where I just kind of want to hide them a little bit more or make myself look a little bit more balanced. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I think it's very important to understand your proportions, not only your shoulders, but your entire body, and know what works and what doesn't work. So I don't really know what my body type is. I think it's somewhere between an inverted triangle and an hourglass. It's not as straight as a rectangle, like my waist is a little smaller than my hips, but my shoulders are a little bigger than my hips. So I don't know. I've figured out what works for me, and that's what I go by. So yeah, broad shoulders, no matter what your body type is, if you have them, that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Unbuttoning, okay? Whether you're wearing a cardigan, a buttoned dress, buttoned shirt, whatever it is, just showing your chest area a little bit. Doesn't have to be like all the way down here. If you don't want to show your entire boob area, it's fine. But I think that it just takes attention away from your shoulders a little bit, which is weird because if you open it all the way, or if you wear something that is off the shoulder, obviously you're drawing attention to your shoulders. But if you unbutton just the right amount, it draws attention to the center of your chest, as opposed to if I were to button this all the way, it kind of like boxes me out a little bit more. You know, obviously if you're wearing a t-shirt and things like that, you can also sort of create this illusion or this like drawing attention to the center by wearing a long necklace. It's also why I love wearing long pendant necklaces or stacking jewelry and things like that, because it draws attention right to the center of your chest, and it also kind of breaks the outfit up a little bit and adds that dimension that I always talk about in every single one of my videos. So it's just a little trick that I always do, whether I'm wearing a button down shirt or dress or anything, just trying to draw attention to this center area. I was very into these high neck tank tops that were everywhere, like last summer and the one before, and that's all I was purchasing. And this spring I went back to wearing my scoop neck tanks, or my lower like square neck tanks, just lower scooped tanks that show this area more. And I realized that that just looks so much better. So again, it's kind of like the same process. You're drawing attention to the chest area as opposed to the shoulders. So obviously you can still rock your higher neck tanks. I still do all the time, but something that I do now is kind of throw a long sleeve over my shoulders and wear that longer necklace, and it kind of balances everything out, as opposed to wearing a high neck tank. I have my shoulders exposed and like there's so much attention on my shoulders. I just look very wide. I'm going to wear them. It's just a matter of how am I going to style them in order to make them look more proportionate with my shoulders and like my own proportions. So cinching your waist is something that not only brings more balance to your overall look, but it does make your waist appear smaller, especially if you have broad shoulders, because drawing attention to the center and then you have such broad shoulders is obviously going to bring the eye towards your waist as opposed to your shoulders. So it's kind of the same thing that we talked about with bringing the eyes to the chest as opposed to your shoulders. Same thing if you're cinching, especially if you're wearing something that balloons out a little bit in the bottom or flares out and you're cinching, it just makes everything look a little bit more proportioned. So I always try to cinch my waist somehow, whether it's French tucking or completely tucking or half tucking or using a belt. I always try to bring attention to the center of my body. and it just takes the eyes away from the shoulders. So I can't stop talking about this, and it's for a good reason. It is buying oversized bottoms and getting them altered at the waist, or cinching them yourself with a belt at the waist. And the reason that I love this so much is because if you're buying something that's oversized, it's really going to flow out if you're cinching it at the waist. And this flowing out, whether it's ballooning out or completely flaring out, or whatever it is, no matter what kind of bottom you're wearing, it gives balance back into your outfit, because you're lining your shoulders up with your hips now, or maybe your hips are now further than your shoulders, or there's not that much of a difference between your shoulders and your hips. I do wear skinny jeans, I do wear leggings if I want to, but there are certain things that I do when I wear tighter fitting jeans or tighter fitting pants in general. So my comfort zone is oversized straight fit or wide leg pants. Like, that is just what I think looks the most flattering on me. So the way that I like to balance skinnier fitting pants or jeans is by throwing either a long coat and cinching it, or a long cardigan and cinching it, and preferably one that has like the chest exposed, even though obviously during the winter I'll wear like a turtleneck, it doesn't matter. But I do like to balance it out with a coat or something that I can cinch on top, something that is preferably long. I just love layering with something on top to break everything up and make things look more balanced when I'm wearing skinnier or tighter fitting bottoms. It's funny because I didn't really try cropped tops until recently. Like, I didn't really give them the time that they deserved until recently, and there are definitely certain ways that crop tops don't look good, but I think I've like figured out ways that they do. And crop tops, again, they're bringing attention to this area. So you're taking attention away from your shoulders. So especially if you're wearing like a cropped hoodie or a cropped like long sleeve or something, you're taking that attention away. You can throw something over your shoulders if you want to hide them, or again, throw a necklace, just something that's going to draw attention away from your shoulders. So one of my favorite things to do lately, if I feel like wearing a loose top with a loose bottom, is break it up with like a bandeau top or like a bralette top on the bottom. Throw a button down over top. You could even tie the button down if you want, like if you don't want to just wear it open. If you really want to accentuate your waist even more, you can tie it. And again, trousers that cinch you and balloon out. That's a great way to, if you don't feel like wearing something fitted on top, or you don't feel comfortable with a crop top, you can just do that and it works very well. Or if you don't feel like wearing an oversized button down, you can wear the bandeau or crop top or bralette with a blazer over top, or you can cinch the blazer if you want, but I think leaving it open looks beautiful as well. And you're drawing that attention to the center of your body and away from your shoulders. Honestly, even if you're wearing like padded shoulders or something that's very structured, it still looks good. So for dresses, you can pretty much follow all of these steps. You can just wear something that's a little bit more loose and cinch it yourself so that it balloons a little bit on the top and also in the bottom. I've seen a bunch of cutout dresses in the center, just anything that draws that attention to the center of your body, whether it's tying something on your waist, a sweater, a long sleeve, or cinching your waist with a belt, or just adding a little bit of bulk to your bottom half to bring like that flare into your dress. If it's not a dress that flares out too much, you don't always have to wear things that flare you out. You don't always have to cinch your waist. You know, you can just throw a button down or something oversized over top. And if you want to draw attention elsewhere, or you don't want your shoulders to be as visible, you can throw something over your shoulders. You can definitely make bodycon dresses or dresses that are more fitted work, kind of add a little bit of dimension. You can do this with a crossbody bag. You can do this with a big like tote bag. Obviously, I wear off the shoulder all the time. There are days where I feel like accentuating my shoulders, and I think that it's a beautiful thing to do that too and accept your shoulders. You don't always have to hide them. You don't always have to stick to a set of rules. These are just tips that I do almost every time that I get dressed, depending on what it is that I'm wearing, to kind of bring balance into my outfit and to work with my proportions in a way that makes me feel confident and happy when, I'm putting these outfits together. So just find what makes you feel confident and what makes you happy in your own skin and in your own clothes. And that's pretty much it, Try things on, see what works, see what doesn't. And you can try and see if any of these tips work for you. So yeah, that's everything for this video. I hope that you guys found it helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video.